Yo! Welcome to the Off Base Podcast. A podcast carefully crafted to remind you to suck a fat one if you think that you are the only one, because you're not. I know I'm not. I'm your host. I'm the Rocky Mountain no-name Jackass. It is 64 degrees outside in the city of Aurora at 3:59 p.m. on November the 29th, 2021. What's up? So I had a day off today because, as I mentioned this morning, on this morning's podcast, we went skiing for Thanksgiving. It's the first time that I actually ever, when I was away from home, ate Thanksgiving dinner out at a restaurant. Because typically, once you have your own family, you have your own kids, you really, at least my wife and I, we want to have those holidays at our own house, specifically Christmas. And that might make sense to you if you have kids as to why you would want to have it in your own house. But for the couple times in our married life when we have gone back home, we still haven't, gone out for a meal, because the point is to be with family. And we had a really, really good Thanksgiving meal. I mean, my wife, she fucking loves finding great restaurants to go to. And it started for us when we first started dating, and we would and this was when my stepkids, when their father lived close to us. So if he had them for a weekend, like a long weekend, like maybe President's Day weekend or Columbus Day weekend, we'd jump on a plane and go to Vegas for 3 days. And that's where my wife really fell in love with finding good restaurants and finding good food. And that started about 11 years ago now. So now wherever we're going, she wants to find great food. She loves spending her money on great food. I mean, this woman, one of the many, many good things about her is that I have yet to find somebody who enjoys eating as much as she does. And the funny part is she's only 125 pounds. Because during the week, we eat really, really well. And by really well, I mean we keep our calories low, particularly when we're trying to lose weight. Right now, I'm trying to put on some muscle, so I'm probably averaging a little between maybe 2,000 and 2,200 calories per day. But when I'm not trying to put weight on, I'm at 1,500 calories, 1,800 calories. She's at 12 to 15. But on the weekends, or if we're going on a trip, and she wants to enjoy her food. Nice glass of wine. She loves getting mixed drinks, anything with bourbon in it. Any folks out there who are fans of the old-fashioned, you might get along very well with my wife if we were to ever go out to dinner. She just loves food. And she found this great restaurant that we went to the last time that we were in Vail 7 years ago. We were there for a spring break ski trip. The kids were real young. My son had just been born. And of course, my wife found fantastic restaurants then. The restaurant we went to was called La Tour. A little bit more upscale. The clientele was a little bit more upscale for a no-name jackass like myself. But the servers were great, and I love talking up a sommelier. Love it, because they have such a wealth of knowledge for you to just sit back and listen to them describe wines. It's like watching a TV show, or what the Food Network used to be, when they actually taught people how to cook. Now they had all these time challenges, and you got to use a marshmallow and a fucking steak and come up with a dessert or something like that. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. All these crazy shows that are trying to attract people's attention, but yet what they don't realize is that what really attracted people's attention was teaching people how to cook. Anyway, apart from that, we had a great Thanksgiving meal. My wife and I both got their special, which they made the traditional. They had turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, and they had this cranberry chutney that they put right in the middle that touched everything. Good Lord. That shit was delicious. and the kids got a chance to splurge a little bit. They got steaks. My stepdaughter, she's been really good lately as far as going out to dinner. When she first discovered that she loves steak, because, you know, I go to the commissary and I'll get $7 T-bones or $7 porterhouses, and they're, you know, 16-ounce porterhouses, 16-ounce T-bones, or I can get them for, or I can get ribeyes for like $8 a pound, $9 a pound. I'd come home and cook them up either on the grill when we were in Florida, or on our griddle that we have right now. Fucking love griddles, dude. If you ain't got a griddle, you got to invest in a griddle. The griddles is shit. But when I would finish the steaks, as they were resting, I would just throw this homemade truffle butter on it. Truffle butter to make at home is ridiculously easy. Ridiculously easy. All you got to do is you take a stick of butter, you let it get soft, and then you pour a tablespoon of white truffle oil on there, and then a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of pepper, teaspoon of thyme, teaspoon of rosemary. Mix it all up, wrap it up in plastic, and put it right back in the fridge and let it harden. And it's fantastic when you get that stuff to melt on a resting steak, boy. Woo! So I ended up spoiling my stepdaughter with that a couple years ago, and then we'd go out to eat, and she'd see steak on the menu, and if it was you know, a little bit more fancier restaurant, you know, steaks are like $60, like a 16-ounce ribeye, it's like $60. So we're like, oh. Now when I was growing up, my parents would be like, they wouldn't say fuck that, but they would be thinking, fuck that kid ain't getting no $60 steak. But you know, prices have been inflated since we were littler, and my wife and I make good enough money that if we're going to treat ourselves, we'll treat ourselves. But a $60 steak for an 11-year-old girl. But the thing was, we told her, we said, hey, we'll buy that for you as long as you eat it. If you don't eat it, then we can't be buying it for you again. But what's so good about her, and I mentioned this on the morning podcast about how intuitive she is becoming price conscious at a very young age, which is fantastic. She did it over the weekend when I had to go buy all the kids snow pants, because the last time we skied was 2 years ago, and we got a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and an 8-year-old. Well, you know, you hope that the 8-year-old's going to pick up some hand-me-downs from the older one, but all of his hand-me-downs, the 15-year-olds to the 8-year-old, were still too big. So I had to buy all 3 of them new snow pants, and I was shocked. We went into that store, and snow pants, they're like $150, $200, $250, $300. I'm like, holy shit! Snow pants are expensive. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Here's the reason why these things are expensive. Number one, they make them really well. They last a long time. And these snow pants that we're going to have for the kids, they're going to last us for 2 years, because that's how long we're going to be here. And we're going to be skiing a lot. So it immediately dawned on me, yeah, this is probably going to be a good investment. And the first couple pairs of pants that my stepdaughter was looking at, she was like, these are $200. And I said, hey, you know what? I appreciate you looking at the price tag, but find a pair that you like, try it on. If you like it, then we'll buy it. I said, and I explained to her exactly what I had just said right now. So she went into a dressing room, and I came to the dressing room area, and she came out, and that ones she had on were kind of nice. But then I went and found they were a little bit too big, so I went and found a different pair for her, and they were around $200, real stylish. I mean, and when she put them on, they looked good, but they were a little snug on her. And she said to me, she's like, these are $200, and I was like, yeah. She said, but the ones I first tried on were only $140. She said, I think we should get to $140. And I was like, oh man, I love this kid. Love this kid. Price conscious at such a young age, at 13. And the reason why I told you that story was just to go back to the Thanksgiving meal. She could have gotten the adult steak that night, but she didn't. She got kids mac and cheese as an appetizer, and then she got the kids steak for her meal, which still would have been way less, probably half the price of getting an adult steak. Those two things combined half the price of getting an adult steak. So I was again just hats off and tip of the cap to my stepdaughter. She rocked it. Anyway, here we are, heading back to get the kitties. My stepson and I will be hitting the gym tonight. Back in action. We haven't worked out since last Monday. And as I mentioned previously, we're trying to put on a little bit of weight, focusing on the 5 basic strength training exercises: pull-ups, squats, bench, deadlifts, and the clean and jerk. So it'll be nice to get back in the gym today and have this little month's worth of time of getting some good exercise in at the gym before the Christmas season arrives, and we have another nice trip planned with some family members, which is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm back in keto mode. I had almost 0 carbs today. I just had some green beans that were left over from over the weekend. I'm not really making anything tonight special for food. Tomorrow's Taco Tuesday, which I love. I got it down to a science. But tonight, we still got a lot of lunch meat left, so the kids and my wife can make sandwiches. I made turkey soup last night. So my stepson loves soup with either rice or barley. So he'll be eating that. And that's going to be pretty much it. I think I'll finish off. Right now, I'm getting off the highway, so I probably got about 5-6 minutes left of talking to y'all. But, if I don't have anything to say, I'll cut it down early. I will say this. In terms of the day, I continue to get stuff put up for Christmas. We probably got 85% of it put up yesterday. And I was just, putting some more stuff up for today. Once the sun goes down, I'll put the light out in front of our house, which we love. It's a real nice Christmas light. It's one of those ones that oscillates. It turns on a wheel. It just looks really cool. Got some laundry done from over the weekend because, when you go skiing, you get some stank-ass clothes. So I got some laundry done, and just in general, just some chores around the house that needed done before I go back to work tomorrow. So it was a nice vacation from the vacation. And I also kept going through, for my sports cards fans out there, kept going through my 93-94 Fleer basketball. Man, what a fucking awesome set of cards. I mentioned it this morning. Compared to prior years, they thickened them up a little bit. And the set that I got right now, I probably opened half of them. And the centering on these things is just fucking fantastic. And it's not a large set, too. I hate when you get, like the larger baseball sets where there's 700 cards in the set because there's so many players. Basketball, there's not as many players. And they didn't make cards for everybody. They just made cards for, like, the starting 5s of each team and maybe a couple guys coming off the bench. So there's only 240 cards in the set. But the one that I got, I think I'll end up opening... What is it, I think it's somewhere around 600 cards. So I'll probably, the odds are that you'll get, approximately 2.5 of each one. So far there's 2 different Jordans that are in the series. And I have one of the regular Jordan card. And then there's like a league leader card. I got 4 of those that came off of that. I got 4 Shaqs. And then Shaq was also Rookie of the Year. That year, I think I got 2 of those out of there. And there's some other ones that are just really, really pretty cards. They took some great shots of the guys. Dominique, his always looked good, and Sean Kemp as well. But yeah, so the other thing that I was doing was finishing up, also going through a pack of the, the 90-91. Yeah, 90-91 Fleer. And good Lord, I got enough of those. The only reason why I bought another box of those is because I was missing a lot of the key players. Like, I got great Jordans out of it, but I was missing a lot of key players. I was missing Bird. I was missing Clyde Drexler, Mo Cheeks, and a couple other, like, superstar Hall of Famers. And I started opening those before Thanksgiving, and I only had like 4 packs of those left. And I opened those up this morning, and then I boxed them and organize them how I like to have them organized. Everybody's different. But the one that I'm hoping that I get for Christmas, I told my wife, is the 89-90 Fleers. The 88s, 88, 89, 87, 88, and 86, 87. Those are Jordan's third, second, and first year cards. Those are still so expensive to get a box of those. Like his rookie box is, it's over $100,000. It's ridiculous. The 87s are like $25,000. Ain't getting that. And the 88s, those are, I think, like $6,000. So it's like, Jesus Christ, I'm not paying that much for a box. Where you can get some of the later years for anywhere in between, like, I don't know, $50 and $125 per box. But you'll end up getting like 3-4 Jordans out of them. And if they end up getting scored perfect 10s, well, you'll make your money back by just selling one of them. So anyway, the 89-90s, the box is reasonable. And that's why I asked for my wife to get it for me for Christmas. So we'll see if she does. It's in between where depending on where you look, like either eBay or like the baseball card exchange. At auction, you might be able to get a box in between $400 or $500. If you want it sealed and reviewed by the baseball card exchange, it might be $600-700. Which sounds like a lot of money, but the cards that are coming out of it, particularly the Jordans, and according to the math, according to the probabilities, you're scheduled to get like 3.25 of them. And then of course there's the stickers, and you got a chance of getting 3 of those as well. The stickers are always worth much more because they're difficult to find them centered, and they're more rare because there's only one of them per pack. So that's it. That's my ramblings on the sports cards and just in general how my lazy day went. It wasn't that lazy. I mean, it was productive, but here I am picking up my boy. So until tomorrow morning, have a great night. Stay motivated. I'll smell you later.